and look over the course of the playoffs the years. Far too many delivered far too less. So, Bobby McMahon, come in. Give me 18 to 22 goals. Don't give me less. I mean, Max Domi can't come in and give you what he gave you this year. And then what I'd say about Max is fits and spurts. It's no good. It's not going to help you. And Scott Lawton came over in a trade. I mean, there was a lot of excitement about Scott Lawton. Scott Lawton's got to give you more. So it's not just Austin Matthews or William Nylander. And I go back to the depth. That's where the Leafs have to become stronger, is through their depth. Now, is that through adding players? Yeah, you can add players like that, but it's also from players delivering. And that's what they need, because, again, you can't go through the playoffs just counting on your top guys.
Hey, Craig, another team that's looking for some depth this offseason is the Edmonton Oilers. How did you feel about their move to acquire Ike Howard, the reigning Hobey Baker Trophy candidate from the U.S. college ranks, Michigan State University to be exact? What can Howard bring to the Oilers in the here and now?
Well, I think it's not just Howard. It's also Mangiapane, and Stan Bowman, faced with his salary cap situation, had to find a way to give his team more skill. They tried it last year with Arvidsson and Skinner, and it was a failure. So they needed to be younger. They needed to find skill in that age group. I think Stan Bowman did an outstanding job. Number one, you get a player that's 21 years old in Howard. He's a really good player. He wasn't surrounded by skill, like a lot of skill at Michigan State, and he performed at an exceptionally high level. Well, guess what? Now you got 97/29 playing with him. Howard's a really smart offensive player. He knows where to be, and he knows where to be at the right times. He knows how to score. What he did last year, not surrounded like a lot of skill, he's going to have a real opportunity. And you got to be a smart player to play with McDavid and Draisaitl, and Howard is exactly that. Mangiapane, smart offensive player, and you put him with good, smart players, he's going to be able to score. If Howard can come in along with Mangiapane and they can get 35 to 40 goals for the $4.6 million they're going to cost the Edmonton Oilers on their salary cap, that is tremendous value. And quite frankly, I think Howard's ready to come in and play. I think he's smart enough to come in and play. We know what Mangiapane can do. I think that Stan Bowman went and found 35, 40 goals for $4.6 million, which is exactly what they needed. And I think that will help ease some of the offensive burden on McDavid, Draisaitl. I think that guys like that can take advantage of them, but it will also take some of the pressure away from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. He doesn't have to do it as much. I mean, he's a good, versatile player. I mean, maybe Nugent-Hopkins becomes a third-line center now because you have two guys who can play in your top six. You know you have Hyman, and now you can kind of mix it around and see what else you can do. Matty Savoy is another guy on an entry-level contract, fast and speedy, had a really good season in Bakersfield. They needed to become younger. They needed to become faster. Savoy in a trade with Buffalo, Howard in a trade with Tampa Bay Lightning, Mangiapane in a free agent signing. They got more skill, and if those three guys can come in and give them some of that offensive punch, they're going to be a much better. They're not going to be a much better team. They're going to be a better team, and they're going to be a better balanced team.
What do you think happens with McDavid, Craig? We've been speculating for a long time here about what his next deal might look like. MJ was on his last hit before he went on summer vacation saying if he was Connor McDavid's agent, he'd be saying maybe, hey, give me a 2-year deal, $16 million per, and I want to see what you guys do to put me in a position to win my cup. Obviously, he can sign for as many as 8 years. How do you see it ending up?
Well, number one, the salary cap is going up significantly over the next number of seasons. So players don't want to leave money on the table. If McDavid signs for an 8-year deal, and it's not for, I mean, the most he can sign for, I think, is $19 million, because that's what the cap will be when he signs it. He signs it this year. So if he signs for $19 million times 8 years, he's leaving money on the table. And I don't think that would be prudent. I don't think that would be wise. Connor McDavid wants to win. Connor McDavid at the end of season availability talked about, I want to win and I want to have a chance to win and not just do it once. He wants the opportunity. So if I was looking at it and chatting with Connor McDavid, I would say, listen, you have great opportunity here. you can put management's feet to the fire. 2-year deal, and let's see what you got. Maybe he says it's a 4-year deal, and that takes a little bit of the heat. But if he only signs for 4, I would also go back and behind the scenes tell management 2 years into this contract, at the end of 2 years in this contract, you guys better have done your job. Because if not, I'm gonna ask to be traded.
Craig, let's move over to player development. And I know you've talked a lot about the NCAA and Gavin McKenna signing with Penn State and the door that it opens, and maybe it's a little more gradual. I want to throw in there that new change that allows an NHL team to have one 19-year-old in the American Hockey League. How big a transition is that? Like, does it open up a big door? Like, how do you view this? How does it affect junior hockey?
Well, is that like? Is there one 19-year-old that can play in the NHL now? Does that happen? I'm not aware of that.
No, this is the AHL.
No, but is that a new rule? Is that
the new? They're considering one 19-year-old player from each team allowed to play in the American Hockey League.
Oh, they're considering that.
As far as I know, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I think they've been talking. I thought you had said, Jim, that was something that was passed. That's why I said I don't know.
It's in the works. I just want to know how you think it would affect junior hockey.
I think it would be stupid for that rule to be advanced. If you can't play in the NHL at 19 years old, the American Hockey League is harder to play in at 19 years old than you are to play in the NHL. It's got 3 tiers of players. You've got young players that are finding their way into pro hockey, that are trying to establish themselves, and you're playing against older players. Then you got that next group of players that are trying to move out of that young players that are in a transition phase of their careers, trying to figure out, do I belong in this organization? Do I not? And then you have your older players. It's a hard league to play in when you're 19 years of age. I don't think it's the right thing to do if you're talking about development, Jim. But I know NHL teams love to say, oh, we can do a better job of developing by having our players play in the American Hockey League. I don't believe in it. There's players that might be able to do it, but now that's 32 players, if we look at every 19-year-old playing in the American Hockey League. It's a hard league, and I don't think it's a league for 19-year-olds. There's the odd guy that might be able to do it and handle themselves, but I don't think it's the best thing for development.
Craig, in the circles you walk in, I know you're well connected in the junior hockey ranks in this country. How would you describe the feeling, about the state of things, given this door that's been opened with McKenna heading off to Penn State University on a ticket that is, reported to be in the $700,000 U.S. range? What are people saying, and what are people, hemming and hawing about in terms of the future of the current system?
Well, here's what I would say. Number one is Gavin McKenna is a unique case. Gavin McKenna is an outstanding player. He's dominated junior hockey, and so everybody should be careful about using Gavin McKenna as the poster player for what it is. The NCAA, with the ruling allowing CHL players to come and play in the NCAA after playing in CHL, is something that opens doors for everybody. That is a good signal